In this video, we're going to be breaking down this really simple bird feeder stand that you can make with EMT conduit and maker pipe connectors. This was sent in by Ronald, who's one of our customers. Really appreciate him sharing this. And this is a really super simple build. Basically, it's just, one piece of EMT conduit, or I guess probably one 10-foot stick, and you can customize this dimension however you wanted. If you wanted this to be a certain height off the ground, and then you can kind of customize that top pipe as well on how the length that you want it to be, of course. So basically, I would say this is probably one 10-foot stick of conduit, probably cut into like a 7-foot piece, and then the other 3-foot piece is used for the top. Not entirely sure, but like I said, you could customize this however you wanted. Basically, it's just the one vertical, and then at the very top is the T connector from MakerPipe. And this allows you to join two pieces of conduit together. You've got the one piece that runs continuously through the top, the horizontal piece, and then you've got this piece in the bottom that terminates inside the bottom of the connector. And because it terminates in the connector, you don't have to do any drilling through the conduit. You don't have to do any welding. It just clamps together with a 5mm hex wrench. And then to cut conduit, you just use a simple handheld pipe and tube cutter where you just basically tighten it, rotate it around a few times, tighten it again, rotate it around, and you just repeat that process until you make your cut. Really easy to do, really simple tools to work with. And that's really the main construction of the frame. And then, of course, there's some unique things about this that we should highlight in order to kind of learn how to recreate this. So the first thing, I think this is the style feeder. I think it's called a Suet feeder, or basically it's just these cages, essentially, that have the bird feed inside of them. And those are hung from the conduit because he drilled through the conduit here. We can see through there, and then added this eye hook that goes down, and then that is what the feeder is attached to. There's a chain that goes down, and that's what's holding the feeder. So really simple, not too hard to do. If you've never drilled through a round object, it's kind of annoying because the drill bit can walk on you. So I recommend, there's a drill jig that we're about to have on the website soon, but you can go ahead and get one from Northwoods Engineered. He 3D prints that. It's really cool. You can also just get the punch. I forget what it's called. I think it's a guide hole punch, basically, but it just adds a little indentation that makes it a lot easier to drill through round objects. But you can do that. And that's really simple, pretty much, to add these hooks to hang the feeders off of there. Now, there's also something else on here, a really good idea. Not only are you feeding the birds, you're also potentially feeding the squirrels. So you got to kind of protect the bird feed from the squirrels. And the way he's doing that is with this squirrel baffle here. And they call it that because the squirrel is surprised that it can't get any food. It's so bad. But anyway, you can get these baffles. I was looking on Amazon earlier to see what options there were, and there's a lot of different ones. There's like a cone funnel shape one, and then there's this similar one to what Ronald used, which is this torpedo style. And basically, there's just a clamp that goes around the conduit, and then the baffle just slides over top of that and just kind of makes it hard for them to climb up the pole there in the middle. Now, something else we can't see in this that is super important is how this is secured in the ground, because, since it's just one vertical, it's going to be really prone to tipping over, especially if there's wind and different things. So a couple of ideas for that. I would recommend using one of the rebar stakes from Lowe's or Home Depot. Hammer that into the ground really far. I'd get one of the longer ones. I think they have a few different lengths. I think I would probably get the 48-inch one, and then hammer that in as far as you can. And then even potentially maybe, when you slide the conduit over top of that, maybe even try to bury the conduit a little bit too. That would really help a lot with the rigidity. But you want to make sure this is as strong as possible, obviously, because, the squirrels are still going to try to get up there. And, you don't want them knocking the whole thing over. You definitely don't want wind or anything like that to knock it over. So definitely want to keep that in mind. We've also seen people use, if you want this to be freestanding, you could use some different bases. We did a video a few weeks back about an umbrella base that you can check out that video, but basically you just thread a bolt through the bottom of it and then into a threaded insert, and you can kind of create a rigid mount that way. But I still think it'd probably be best to just hammer that in the ground and then the stake, and then slide the conduit over it and even try to bury the conduit a little bit. But you definitely want to make sure this is nice and secure, and we don't really see exactly how Ronald did that. But pretty simple overall, just that one piece of conduit, like I said, you cut, and then you can customize the dimensions. And of course, you could look at the different maker pipe connectors. We've seen people use 5-way connectors and add 4 bird feeders on one stand. So there's a lot of unique possibilities. I'll link some different bird feeders down below so you can get some more ideas. But this is really cool, nice and simple project, and really great to see. So thanks so much, Ronald, for sharing this. I'll link the build down below if you want to check it out in more detail. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave those down below. If you like this video, leave a like and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.